Alright guys, I want to thank you for coming back for another video today. It's Christmas time. I had a little bit of extra money. I'm a little bit more frivolous with my money around this time of the year for some reason. I decided to try something new. So, as you guys can tell, I'm a head shaver. I've been shaving my head for many years. I've done the whole straight blade safety razor thing for many years, but I have a problem with the back of my scalp. I have folliculitis. Which right now that I'm talking about it, makes it itchy. But I do have a number of bumps and scalp problems. And because of that, I would always cut myself. So with that, I moved to an electronic or an electric razor type deal. And you're going to see we have some things here. So last year, I ended up moving to a dedicated head shaver. And you can see I have a Remington head shaver here. Went the cheap route. Again, I am kind of frivolous with money, but I don't like to buy nonsense. I do use this obviously often, so spending a little bit more money now. But I wanted to try out the whole electric razor thing before I spend a lot of money on something like this Pitbull that I have here. So Freedom Grooming Pitbull has some pretty expensive options for electric shavers. I did not want to go that route. The Freedom Grooming actually looks eerily similar to this Remington. This Remington I paid like 60 bucks for on Amazon. It's about a year old. Actually, I'm gonna lie, this is actually the second one. So maybe this is 8 months old, something like that at this point. The first one, the motor started having some struggling, and it kept on just kind of juddering as I was shaving my head. So I called Remington. It was a quick process. They got me a new one out in a couple days. Gave that to my brother-in-law. It was still working. I cleaned it out. It was still working okay, but not great. This one's been a little bit better. I've only got it to judder a couple times. I don't know if it's because I get a little lazy with shaving my head lately. Now that I'm working from home, I don't have to shave every other day to go into the office. So I find myself shaving a little less, sometimes once a week. And these things cannot chew. If you can actually still grow hair, which I may not look like I can, but all around here, I can still grow pretty damn good hair. It's actually really thick. Up here, I can still grow hair. It's just a little bit thin. So that's part of the reason I started shaving my head, more so because of the whole folliculitis thing. So if you are blessed to still be able to grow hair, you have to shave like every 2 days. These things just are not powerful enough to be able to chew through the hair if you still have, decently thick or coarse hair. So, almost a year with this thing. It's decent. It's not great. It's decent. I've never replaced the head on it. And that might be why the shave quality went down a little bit. Again, it's a $60 shaver. There's no frills, none of the fancy stuff we got on the Pitbull. But this thing has done pretty decent. This is a 5-blade design you're going to see here, and it contours around your head. I'm not sure how I feel about the 5th blade in the middle. I don't really feel like it does anything. I feel like I have kind of a weird shaped head. I don't know how much this actually does, so I decided to go with a 4-blade design. Let me go ahead and switch the views so I can show you this stuff a little bit easier. So I probably should have prefaced what the reasoning for this video is. Again, I spent a little bit extra money this year and got myself a Pitbull shaver. I did not go with the low model. The low models, I think Pitbull had some deals on their site. The low model you could have got for like 80-something bucks, which is comparable-ish to this. But they had a deal going on, and I was like, YOLO, I got some money, so why not spend it? This is typically like 230 bucks, I think, for the Platinum Pro. I ended up getting this for $163 for the Platinum Pro. I got a manicure kit with it. And I got a shaver that's coming tomorrow that is pretty much like the lawnmower type shaver for all your pubis areas and things of the such, trimming around your face, beard, and things like that. So a significant jump up in price on this. And again, the reason I held off on this for a while is because I wanted to make sure I was about that life. Now that I've been doing it for a year, I see it is definitely a lot more convenient than doing traditional wet shaving. and you know, I have less breakouts. Yeah, I would say a little bit less breakouts with my folliculitis, but more importantly, no bleeds. So I'm not bleeding for like days on end when I cut whatever bumps I have on my head. This did help a good bit with the bumps on my head as well. So again, you can see has the head that adjusts to your head. This pops off. You can replace these. These are, I don't know, 35, 40 bucks or something like that. And then you have the regular motor head, and then you can also take this off as well. And then you have just the main unit. Again, not too terrible. After, I don't know, 3-4 shaves maybe, this thing has to be recharged. Again, it's done an okay job, but we figure, you know, what else is out there? Then we get into this. Let me go ahead and pop this thing open. Okay, so I actually have not seen this yet, but by the looks of the pictures I've seen and the back of it, it looks like it's probably gonna be a pretty nice unit. Is it $230 worth nice or $160, $180 worth nice? We're gonna find out. Let's go ahead and open this one up. So we're gonna have some documentation about all the extra crap you can buy with it. This one obviously comes with a nice carrier case, a little bit more robust than a hard case compared to this is flimsy. I don't travel too much, so this isn't a big deal, but this is pretty nice. All right, you got your charger, USB charger. This is probably the wash. So this is actually a shaver wash bin. Usually I just dip the shaver into the sink, and that is okay enough, but yeah, this is probably a bit nicer. It has some kind of velour, velvet, yeah, velour. It has a velour bag to hold that in. So I guess you just kind of put water in the bottom of this and just put the shaver on that and just kind of keep it on, and it rinses it in the water there. So that's easy enough. Got the other end of the charger, USB charger. Got some oil for the head, and got a brush. Use a brush to get on the insides of the head. So typically what you'll do is you'll brush in these guys, get all the hair out, and kind of bang it out. So that's what you use that for. At least that's how I use it. I may not be doing it right, but who knows. And then you got the razor itself. Alright, this actually has a hard plastic cover instead of the ventilated cover. So that will hold in moisture if it is wet, unlike the other one. See, we got a forehead design. This definitely has a much different grip. I think with this you're supposed to kind of use it like that around your head, where this one I would, you know, go like this around my head, and I will show you what I mean in a second. All right, so hopefully my camera is in view here. So this one, I would basically just do a palm, and I would go around my head like this, you know, kind of getting around there and go all around. This seems like it's a little bit different. This kind of has some finger grooves, so you can contour it around your head like that. And actually that does feel, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that feels pretty nice to be able to get that around. It feels like I can get the contour of my head better, or it feels like it's got grips around here if I wanted to do it like that. So like if you're getting the back of your neck underneath or so, it's a little bit easier than having to grip it like this close. So the feeling does feel pretty nice. This does feel pretty premium. This blade does roll around my head very well. I like how it is a little bit smaller. It does feel like it rolls pretty well, so I'm kind of excited for this. This is supposed to be waterproof as well. You're supposed to be able to shave in the water with it. The head, you can see the power button on the top there. It actually has an LCD display. You can see the LCD display shows the power level. Okay, we'll say that sounds a little bit quieter than what the Remington did. Again, take off the head. The head structure is structured a little bit differently than the Remington. Let's see if we can take that off. So see kind of the difference in there with the extra framework there for the blades. Again, not sure the positive or negatives of that. So yeah, this thing does have, it's definitely more bulky. It does have a premium feel. I kind of do like the slick feel of it. Having this extra grip I think is pretty nice. We're gonna find out once we shave with it. So I have about a day on my shave right now, so I may go try it out. I'm gonna try once off camera, see how everything feels, and I'll give you guys some feedback on how I like this. So I did a quick shave. Again, I had 2 to 3 days worth of stubble. I know it's probably not going to pick up on camera because I really hate when guys make these videos. You're like, oh my God, this is the best thing since sliced bread. It chopped off all this hair. And guys, you're bald. I mean, let's face it, I'm bald. Again, I will say that typically my hair is really, really thick and coarse all around, back of my head. So you're going to see where it's a little bit darker here than where it would typically be up here. Again, 2-3 minutes. I chopped through that pretty good. It actually got this pretty damn smooth. More importantly, it was a very comfortable shave. I could be attributing this to because it has a fresh blade that's never been used before. It's probably chopping through a good bit better than my Remington did. But again, I do think this has some more power than the Remington does. It does have better blades. The Remington has, you know, some base blades. This Platinum has some higher end blades and a little bit more power. And again, with this upgrade, I think it has a 3-year or 5-year warranty, something like that. So, first shave, overall, I'm pretty impressed. Again, this head does kind of glide over really, really nice. The size of the head did work very good. Again, it was just really comfortable. So today's Friday. I want to say I shaved last on Tuesday because actually I went into the office on Tuesday. So I probably shaved last Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. But again, a couple days on it. So it did chip through it pretty good. Again, I'm probably at the stubble length of what they don't suggest going over anyway, again, to avoid chewing out those motors. It did come with 100% charge. Again, you're going to see on there it shows the charge level with the logo. That's pretty slick. I like that. And we'll go ahead and find the base, the cleaning base, see how it all works out. Alright, so here's one thing that always gets me with these things, and I got into this with Remington. They say these things are waterproof, and you can shave in the shower. And you're going to see here, shaver is splash resistant. Please do not submerge the shaver underwater, as it will cause premature failure. Problem is that when you're in the shower, I mean, I get it, you're splashing around, but that kind of worries me. That does worry me with using it. But you're going to see how the holder works to clean it. Essentially, you're going to put some warm water in this thing, just enough to get your blade in there, or the head in there. Let me get some warm water, just because. All right, I'm going to put just enough to get the head in there. And they actually recommend doing this a couple times during shaving. I guess you essentially stick that in there like that, hold the head in there, get the head into the water, and then you can turn it on for a few seconds. And I'm not sure I have enough water in there. Got a little bit clean, but let's put a little bit more water in there. All right. You should have a fill line on this, but all right, now the head is in there more. Now I have too much water, but let's do that for a few seconds. Clean that head out nice and good. And you're going to see a whole bunch of hair remnants on there. And more importantly, you're going to see in the water, so people that doubt I actually have hair, well, you don't see it too much in the water, but you can see there's hair on the inside of that. So Pitbull does recommend doing that, you know, sometimes frequently throughout your shave, just to keep the blades cleaned out, so it doesn't bog down the motors. I typically don't do that unless like I haven't shaved for a week and what I'm going to call wolfing it. Which is not what you saw today, but If I would have gave it a couple more days, my hair would have been longish for a head shaver. So typically I'll just do that after I shave, clean it out all good, dry everything off, and then store it. So I may actually store it in that cleaner. We'll see. But again, so far, pretty happy with the comfort level of it. Throw in some aftershave, run it a couple more times, and I'll come back and tell you guys if my feelings have changed about it. Alright guys, so I just wanted to follow up on a 3-month review of this, and this is going to be in one video. I started this the week after Christmas, or the week of Christmas. I forget what day Christmas was on, but I started this within a couple days of Christmas. It is now March 3rd of 23, so I've been using this thing for 3 months. And I wanted to wait until I had enough use time with it to tell you people my real feelings about this. So I'm going to start this off with, I have never charged this since I've gotten it. And I'm going to turn it on and it's at like 20-something%. So 23% this thing is at right now. So we are 3 months in on this thing. I have not charged it and I still have 23% left. And you're going to say, oh, well, you probably didn't use it. I use this thing every 2 to 3 days, 3 days at worst, but usually every 2 days. Right now, you're going to say, oh, Pete, well, you're bald. Well, yeah, I'm bald, but this is what 3 days of growth looks like. So again, this thing does have a little bit of a workout. That being said, typically when I do a full 3 days worth of growth like it is now, I'll usually do a wet shave. So I will actually use my beanie in the shower, kind of get my follicles all nice and warm and wet, and then I will use shaving cream with this thing. And it does, you know, a pretty phenomenal job for a, you know, motorized shaver. Again, you're not going to get a baby butt smooth shave. It's just not going to happen with these things. But you're going to get a good enough shave, as good as any other, you know, motorized shaver, electrical shaver, but not as good as a straight blade. It's just not going to happen. Let's be real. So that being said, with how it shaves now, typically I would do this wet. I'm not going to do it wet. I need a quick shave. This thing seems to chew through pretty good. What I've realized is don't put a lot of pressure. If I put a lot of pressure, I will get a lot of razor burn on the back of my neck. So you don't do pressure, and I can usually get this done in about 2 minutes with the way it looks now. So I'm going to see if I can find a way of recording this quick so you can see it real time, and we'll go from there. All right, so hopefully this records pretty decently. I don't even know what the view looks like right now, but we're going to go ahead and rip through this growth and see what it does. So it might stutter a little bit just because it's low. And again, I kind of let that growth grow out. And we'll do it on the side that you can actually see. And you can see it is chipping away at this pretty good. Hopefully you can tell that. Again, for it only having 20% of battery life, I'm actually surprised it's not stuttering, especially with this kind of growth. So back here in the back of my head is usually where it gets pretty thick and where I'll still notice a little bit of stubble if I do not do a wet shave. But, you know, for the most part, you'll see it chewed through that pretty damn good. Still feel a little bit of stubble on the back, but again, it's kind of always like that. You know, so again, if I weren't very picky, I'd leave it like this. But again, this is, you know, for all intents and purposes, this is a pretty good shave, and that was all but a minute and a half. I don't even think it was a full minute and a half. So I'll go ahead and stop this. I'll show you guys what I do for the cleaning routine. For the cleaning routine, all I do is go ahead and put a little bit of water inside this, and just put the shaver in here like this, and just run it for
you know, 5, 10, 15 seconds, clean out the blades all good. And right now it's at 17%, so I'm probably going to charge it at this point. And you'll see how much junk comes out of there. So I do kind of like having that rinse down. You'll see how much, you know, how much hair comes out of there. And for anybody who shaves their head, you know that that's a lot of hair. So again, I have no complaints about this thing. A lot of people bitch and complain about this thing on Amazon. You know, people say, "Oh, mine broke after 2 shaves," whatever. Maybe they got bad ones, or maybe the Platinum is just an upgraded. I mean, it is an upgrade. It costs more, but maybe the Platinum is just that much better. I don't know. So I would say, from my experience, I am very happy with this. My Remington would have already given me all kinds of problems this far in, and I can tell you, I recharge that Remington probably every 2 weeks or so. So just the sheer fact of battery strength alone, this thing is killer. Hopefully it stays that way, fingers crossed, but this is going to get a PM Performance thumbs up. I am happy with this, especially for the fact that it came with all those other things. Again, I do use the other shaver to trim my beard and other areas. And that works just as good. That's nice and quiet as well. It's better than my cheapy, if I got a Remington for that as well. It works better than that as well. So again, guys, I have no complaints. Hopefully you guys found this useful. Let me know down in the comments below. And again, I give it a thumbs up. I say check it out. If I'm going to make a recommendation, spend the extra money, get the Platinum over the whatever the base is, or the silver. I forget what the packages were, but I can give a thumbs up to the Platinum. I can't answer to the other ones. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.